Howdy, 7th grade. Today we're going to look into this thing called solving systems of equations, which means we're going to be solving multiple equations at once. We're going to have more than one variable, and we're going to solve them all at once. And the way we're going to start doing this is by graphing the equations. So we're going to start with a couple equations, and we're just going to kind of graph it. I'm going to see what happens. So if I have my two equations, my first one's going to be x plus y equals 6. And the other one is going to be y equals x plus 10. There we go, x plus 10. And I want to figure out if there's a place where I can get x and y to work for both. So we want an x and a y for both. So I could just start picking numbers for these and say, well, if x is 1 and y is 5, x plus y is definitely going to be 6. But then if we look down below, x is 1, y is 5 doesn't quite work as well. So we're going to need to get a little bit more creative and make this work. So let's check out what exactly we're going to do here. So what I'm going to want to do is to graph this real quick. So I'm going to draw a graph. Give me just 1 second. Alright, so I just got this graphed, and if we look, my first equation here is x plus y equals 6, and I'm going to call that equation 1. When I graph it, my line looks just like this, and if we remember what this means, I can pick any point on this line. So we have this point right here, which is 0, 6, I could plug that in, 0 plus 6 equals 6, and that works. So that's what this line means, is that every single point on this line is something that would work for that first equation. My second line here is the exact same thing for my second equation. So this line, if I can pick any point on this line, let's do this one. This is negative 9, 1. So x is negative 9, y is 1. 1 equals negative 9 plus 10. That's absolutely true. So all of these points work. And if we look, there's exactly one spot that is on both lines. So this spot right here is on both lines. And that is very, very exciting for me. If it's on both lines, that means that it works for the first equation because it's on that first line, and it works for the second equation because it's on that second line. So all we have to do is figure out what exactly that point is. If I look, it's lined up with negative 2 here for my x value. It's negative 2, and my y value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. So it looks like negative 2, 8 might be our answer. And it's always really important to plug this back in. So this tells me that x equals negative 2 and y equals 8. I'm going to plug these back into both my equations. So I have x plus y equals 6 and y equals x plus 10. If I plug this in, I have negative 2 plus 8 equals 6, which is true, so that works. And my other one, I would have 8 equals negative 2 plus 10, and if we look, that works too. So we are good to go, and our answer would be x equals negative 2, y equals 8. And that's pretty much how all of these are going to work, is we are going to be taking these lines, we're going to graph both of them, and we're going to try to figure out where they both meet up. So let's do another problem right quick. And so we know we're going to need a graph. What I want you to find now is x plus y equals 12 and y equals x plus 6. So something that might make this make a little more sense is, let's say we know that together I need two names. We're going to do Zena and Yolanda. Have $12. So if Zena and Yolanda have a total of $12 between the two of them, we add up what they have. X plus y equals 12. And let's say the second one is telling us that Yolanda has 6 more than Zena. That means Yolanda's money would have to be Zena's money plus 6, so Yolanda has 6 more than Zena. And now we can use this graphing idea to be able to graph this and figure out how much money both Yolanda and Zena have. So if I start with x plus y equals 12, that's going to mean I'm going to do everything in here by 2's, just so I have a little bit more room. 6, 8, 10, and 12. So that is 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. There we go. And I'm going to want to make sure that I have two different XY tables. So we're going to do that in two different colors. This right here, I'm going to do it in green, so I have an XY table in green. And the other one, right here, I will do in red, so I have an XY table in red. So I'm going to pick a couple of points. My favorite points are normally at x is -1, 0, and 1. But in this case, we know it's impossible for anyone to have a negative amount of money. So we don't actually have to do the negatives. I'm going to stick to 0 and 1, because it wouldn't make any sense for someone to have a negative amount of money. And I'm going to do that for my red as well, 0 and 1. So if I plug 0 in for x here, I have 0 plus y equals 12. So I'm asking myself, 0 plus what is 12? 0 plus 12 is 12. That's my y. Then I have x equals 1, so we plug that in. 1 plus y equals 12. 1 plus what is 12? 1 plus 11 is 12. So now I have my point here and a point here for my green graph. And if I trace this down, I should end up, didn't quite get that, also hitting this point. And that would be my line. Now I can look at my red line. If x is 0, I have y equals 0 plus 6. 0 plus 6 is 6, so y is 6. And if x is 1, I have y equals 1 plus 6, which is 7. So that would be here to there. And I should also make sure it hits this part right there. And that will give me my line. So if we look, the red line means it works with my red equation. And my green line means it works for the green equation. And if we look right in here, this works for both. So that point right here is the one that works for both, so that's what we want. If we look around where that is going to be at, I believe, right in the middle here, which is going to be y equals 9. And if we trace down, I think it'll be right in the middle here as well, yep, which is x equals 3. I know that's very, very busy there, but we ended up finding our x, which is 3, and our y, which is 9, and we're going to try to plug these in. So I know that x plus y equals 12. Let's try 3 plus 9 equals 12. That makes sense. And then I'll plug in, sorry, I'll put the check mark over here like I did last time. Then I'll plug in 9 equals 3 plus 6. That is also true. Good to go. So both my equations work. And my answer is x equals 3, y equals 9. I know this is a little bit weird, but all we're doing is taking our two equations, putting them into a graph, and once we have a graph, we're finding the one place where they intersect. So I will see y'all tomorrow. I hope you have a great evening.